Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, 100%.
This one goes out to Steak McDaniels as well.
Make sure nobody sees you leave. Hood over your head, keep your eyes down.
Oh, welcome back, boys. It's another week of the Vault Studio podcast.
Yes.
Let's just start right into it. Like the socials, but let's get stuck into it. Snake McDaniels.
Hey, he's got us on
gone.
Bye-bye, Snake.
See ya.
Bye-bye. See you later.
Don't let the door hit you up.
Don't let the door hit your ass, mate.
I actually had a
Fucking
bit of
shit
a
cunt.
heartfelt moment today.
Oh,
where
yeah?
I was sitting there and when I saw the news he got fired. You know, like when you're in a shitty relationship and then you're breaking up and you get those rose-colored glasses where you're like, nah, it's not that bad. And I started thinking,
The soft music plays in the background.
Snake's a bit hard done by. Like, you know, it's not his fault Derek Carr was shit, and it's not his fault that he signed Jimmy Garoppolo. And then as I started talking myself into it, I was like, he's got Devontae Adams. He traded away Darren Waller.
Yeah.
Fuck the guy.
Yeah.
Useless prick.
Jacobs, the
he
running
fucked
back.
the Colts.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Snake.
Yeah.
Fuck
Run
Colts.
back to Bill Belichick and suck on him.
When he fucked the Colts, that was it for me. As soon as he snaked them, I'm like, nah, fuck this guy. I would never, ever hire him again.
You watch him go back to the Patriots now for like the least money possible. So the Raiders have to keep, because how it works now, if he's got 3 years left on his deal,
Right.
if he signs with someone, say he's earning $10 million a year, which is
Right.
not, but just
Yep.
fees. If they pay him $3 million, the Raiders still have to pay him $7 million. So they've got to pay the difference.
Oh, right. Okay.
So watch him go and take a fucking job for no money. So the Raiders have to
who's gonna hire him now?
the Bill Belichick will take him back for sure.
As what? Like
OC.
QB coach or something?
I guess he's got he's got his other reject, Bill O'Brien, back.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know what the worst thing is? A college team will fucking pick him up and pay him
Ugh.
more money than he would have got in the NFL.
Look, I don't think he's a bad coach. Like he's obviously a good coach
James.
because you last a long time in the NFL. I've got my rose-colored glasses.
You are such a fuckhead. He's
but
terrible.
like I think if you went to the college level, he'd probably be okay.
No, I disagree. It was.
I
I'm
think
telling you now, the only reason, and every morning when he wakes up, he should go like this and do a little cross and say a little prayer and say thank
Do
you.
a photo with Tom Brady.
And say thank you, Tom Brady.
Yeah, I think
kiss
Tom
the
Brady
photo,
saved him.
kiss the photo, and put it back on his
because, like, in
nightstand.
fairness to Bill O'Brien, he went and had good success at the Texans at first.
Yep.
When they had, I think he was there when they had Matt Schwab.
And then they drafted. Did they draft Watson when he was?
Yeah, he had Deshaun Watson.
yeah,
Of course he
yeah.
did. Yeah, so he had Deshaun Watson at the height of his powers.
Yeah.
The Texans.
Yeah. Bill O'Brien was the coach then.
Oh, Bill O'Brien. I thought we were talking about Snake.
No, not Snakey.
Fucking
Not Snakey McDaniels.
Because Snake McDaniels got Tebow.
Yes.
He was a Tebow fiasco
He
in
drafted
Denver.
Tebow. And they won a playoff game over the Steelers where Tebow threw that slant
Yeah.
into Demiris Thomas, rest in peace, in overtime.
Yeah, rest in peace.
And he took it 80 yards for a touchdown to win. And
right.
everyone's like, oh, Tebow's a god. I'm like, yeah, you hit. DT did a lot of work there.
But in fairness, I will back up that one point because a lot of people do hang shit on him for drafting Tebow, but
Everyone was going to.
everyone was.
He got
going
him
to.
late in the first. Like,
Yeah.
someone was going to take him.
It was a late
any
first round
second.
pick. Like that's probably
Did
where he
he
should have got drafted.
Did he draft Paxton Lynch?
No.
But also, we also don't never know if the head coach has a say in because I've forgotten the guy's name, but the GM also got fired.
Yeah, he
as
got
well.
fired too.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was a
correct.
double.
Yeah,
So but
it was a double. That's right.
you
it
just
was.
got to look at the Raiders' history, right? They hired. I'm just talking recent, the last two coaches. They hired John Gruden and Mike Mayock. Now, I don't think Gruden was a bad coach. There was a bit of shit that went wrong for him.
Well, all that shit that blew up with Washington
Yeah,
and all
because
that.
of Dan
I
Snyder.
actually think that Gruden is a good coach.
I think
he's a good
too.
coach.
I think he is too. But like, you had the AB situation. They sign AB, he comes in, won't fucking change his helmet.
He
gets
got-
frostbite on his feet. Like
He's
turned
got
into
CTE.
He turned into a psychopath. And then they fire him. They fire Mike Mayock, who
Mike Mayock was the most
awful.
ridiculous fucking signing. He
mental.
like we were saying the other week on draft night on TV, he gets it wrong. How's he going to fucking just step in there with no experience and be a fucking general
and
manager?
all he did was get it wrong. Like his best draft pick was Henry Ruggs, who then had it.
He could run.
Yeah, he could.
He could run. He could drive pretty fast too.
Yeah, he had some
Yeah,
problem with.
sure did.
He had issues with speed in lots of areas of
No,
his life.
that's Top Golf's fault. They overserved him at Top Golf.
Yeah, it was
That was the issue.
their fault.
But
Even though there's a
Top Golf
free, the NFL offer a free car service. to
Also,
any
he's
player
a
in the
grown
NFL.
man. He's a grown man and a millionaire. Like, he can afford a car.
Vegas, man.
Yeah.
It gets you sometimes.
Vegas, baby, Vegas.
Wasn't he Oakland when that? I reckon they were
Yeah, I
Oakland.
think it was.
still.
I think it was. in
Nah,
Oakland.
it
it
was,
was definitely
that was only
Vegas.
2 years ago. Yeah, that would have been
It was
Vegas.
definitely Vegas, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
insane. But I guess suck shit. I got the right. Me and George got it right. Yes,
Suck a dick.
but also you
Snake.
had Ron Rivera, who.
Who might be next?
Oh, well, and I guess it's a good way to roll into the trade deadline.
Yeah.
So pulling back the curtain, we were going to record last night, and then we thought, well, should we wait for the trade deadline to see what happens?
I'm so glad we did.
And then we're rewarded with Snake getting fired and the trades that happened. And we may as well start in Washington. They're dumping players.
Everybody. Yeah.
And we had this discussion before. So the 49ers picked up Chase Young for a 3rd round pick.
Yeah.
And everyone's saying,
a bag of chips. Yep.
Chase Young's a bust, blah, blah, blah. Well, I don't think he is a bust
No,
because
he's not a bust at all.
He's had, I think, 4 less pressures than Nick Bosa this year and the same amount of sacks.
Yeah.
So they now have a legitimate another edge rusher.
Yeah,
they've got Randy Gregory now as a situational pass rusher. That's the one area of their game that they've really struggled with the last.
They've got that other stud linebacker as well.
Warner. Yeah, and Greenlaw.
Yeah.
That defense just got stronger, and I just can't believe Washington would give up Chase Young for a 3rd round.
I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know why.
And like, is it a matter
Is it a
of
salary thing or what is it?
Well, he's also in the last year of his contract, his rookie deal.
They didn't pick up his 5th year.
He's claimed his class as a rental right now.
Yep.
So he's the end of this season. He's a free agent. So the 49ers, who don't have a ton of salary cap, will have to work out what they do. But if he can help them win a Super Bowl, which that's what they're striving to do,
Then
and he's a great addition.
His money will go through the roof. Someone will sign him.
And then he can go and get signed somewhere
Yeah,
else. So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
kind of a win-win for them. But
Sure.
I find it hard to believe that you get, like, Trey Lance got a 4th round pick from the Cowboys, right?
Yep.
I find it hard to believe that if Chase Young's out there,
That he's on
there's
board
not
the 3rd round.
31 other team or 30 other teams other than the 49ers calling and offering more than a 3rd round pick.
Yeah, that's a strange one. I don't know. Like, surely.
I just don't like any team.
Having said that, though, he's perfectly suited for that defense because that defense is set up to play with a lead so that they can fucking tee off on the opposition quarterback, which is exactly what he's there for and exactly what he's good at. So he's perfectly suited there.
Do you know what's scary about the 49ers now? Even after trading away their 3rd pick, they still have 11 picks in the next draft.
Yeah, right.
Say what you want about John Lynch. That dude's a good GM.
Yeah, no, very good.
Like they got 2 in the 3rd, one
to
in the
be able
third,
to have
one in
to,
the second.
to be able to assemble that amount of talent on one roster under the cap, bravo.
And apparently they were trying to get Brian Burns from Carolina, but he
Okay.
was going to cost a 1st round pick.
Yep.
And then the Chase Young deal came up.
Yeah.
I think if you're giving up a 1st round pick for Brian Burns rather than a 3rd round pick, and I think it's like a 5th round next year for Chase Young, I think it's an absolute no-brainer.
It's a steal.
I find it hard to believe that 30 other teams weren't trying to do it.
Do it, yeah.
I just don't get it.
It's just a 2024 3rd round pick. It's all the traders.
That's all it is.
all it is.
It's outrageous to me.
Fucking
And it just shows that we all know where Washington are going. They've got a new owner.
Yeah.
They're going to have a new coach very soon.
Yes.
Whether that's Eric Bieniemy or not, time will tell. But
Yep.
Rivera's not going to be the coach next year. I think there's probably no point firing a guy like that mid-season when your season's pretty much done. They'll let him. I think from watching the game on the weekend, I reckon they've hit on Sam Howell. I think he can be good.
He made
He makes some dumb mistakes,
but
it's his. You got to look at this as technically his rookie year. Like he didn't play last year, so I think you got to give him some leeway in the crunch moments. He didn't quite make the plays, but other parts of the game,
I reckon they should just tank and fucking draft a quarterback, man. That's what I think.
potentially. So they're loading up. The other guy they traded was Montez Sweat, who has been I don't know if he's been a better defensive end than Chase Young. He's certainly been more consistent.
Yeah.
And the Chicago Bears gave a 2nd round pick for him.
I think that's good. I think that's a win-win.
Well, do you know, and everyone's kind of shitting on Chicago. And I don't know if we had this discussion last week, but it might have been a discussion at work with Scotty. We had this discussion
Shout out
about
to Scotty.
the Chicago Bears. And they're in the box seat. So they have about $135 million of salary cap at the end of this season.
Wow. Okay.
So the difference for them is everyone's like, oh, they've signed Sweat. He's on a. They're going to re-sign him, and I would say they re-sign him very soon to a long-term deal. They can afford to pay him.
Yep.
They're going to load up in free agency.
110 for next season.
110.
83 effective.
Yes. So from next offseason, they'll have 110 million to sign players.
Wow. Yeah.
If Justin Fields is their guy, they're going to have definitely 2 top 10 picks.
Yeah.
And potentially 2 top 5 picks.
Yeah.
They
Depending
can
on
get
how bad Carolina are.
best receiver, best defensive tackle, or if they're done with Fields and they want to move on, which I wouldn't blame them one way or the other. They'd have to be their call.
I would move on from Fields.
Is there any quarterbacks coming out of contract this year that they could take, though? Because I don't think starting again with another rookie quarterback is the smart option.
I think starting again, if you can get.
But when you got 110 there, you might as well.
I think what James is saying is you could tank draft say Caleb Williams and load up with free agents and surround him with talent.
It depends what Fields wants.
You definitely could do
if
that.
Fields wants, I think Fields is going to get 40 million.
Yeah.
Because Daniel Jones got 40 million.
Yeah.
So if you're saying that he's better than Daniel Jones.
I think he is.
So
yeah.
I think the going rate for a long-term quarterback that's going to be your franchise quarterback, your starting quarterback, is 40 million.
40 to 45 million.
I think you'd be comfortable giving him the Daniel Jones contract, which is basically 40 million over 4 years or whatever, but they're only 2 years guaranteed.
2, yeah.
So after 2 seasons, you can go, yep, we're cutting him.
Yep.
And then you load up talent around him. You sign the best defensive lineman, the best defensive lineman.
Yeah.
They've already got some nice players. One of the worst things on their team is their pass rush.
They
And
got no pass.
Sweat helps fix that. Then you go and get, maybe you draft a D-end with your top 5 picks.
Yeah.
They have to get a quarterback. The only 2 people coming out of contracts would be Kirk Cousins, who just his Achilles,
Poor bastard. Yeah. I've actually felt bad when I saw that.
and Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, but why can't they stick with Fields?
But I think you definitely can stick with Fields.
Yeah.
But you got to decide if he's the guy first.
Yeah, if you stick with it, it's real make or break for Chicago this offseason.
And the thing
if
is-
they make the right call, they're on.
And the thing is, let's say they stick with Fields, and then they, like you said, they draft. Say in the top 5 pick, they get the best offensive tackle on the board and the best D end on the board, which is what I would do if I'm there.
Yeah,
Right?
because
You're
everyone's
sticking
saying,
with
they'll
Fields.
get Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't know why. Their receivers aren't bad at all.
Yeah.
They've got DJ Moore, who's a top 15 receiver, I think, but definitely top 20. He's a
he's
genuine wide receiver.
He's good.
one.
The other week they fucking lit up the Washington.
He's
team. They lit
outstanding.
him up. Yeah.
The other receiver, Mooney's okay. He's kind of dropped off a bit. But you can also, if you've got a receiver 1, you can
find a
go and
receiver
find
two.
a
You can
couple of
find a
other
receiver
guys.
two, 100%.
And you look at the draft this year, how many receivers got drafted late in the first round,
Yeah.
and the second round that are performing really
Good.
well?
Yeah, that's the thing.
So I think you go O tackle. If there's an O tackle and a DN,
Fucking oath, man.
and
Yeah.
you get the 2 best guys. You try and you get Sweat back.
If Fields sucks next year, which he might, you're going to be picking in the top 5 again anyway.
Or you then got capital. Say you pick 8 or something like that. You do what Carolina did, and you know what? We're a quarterback away.
Yeah.
Which Carolina was stupid because they weren't a quarterback away.
Yeah.
But you go, we Fields isn't the guy. Let's fucking trade up and get that
Trade up and
first
get
or
that
second
first pick. Yeah,
and
exactly,
get another.
yeah.
You can
Yeah.
always get back up into
Yeah,
the
yeah,
top.
yeah.
I just think the smart move this year is if you've got 2 top 5 picks, take the 2 best dudes. Unless
dudes.
Fields comes back in a couple of weeks and stinks it up, and you're like, he's done.
He has the next 8 weeks to decide if he wants to be the starter in Bears.
And all the pressure's
it's
on him.
It's not. I don't think it's
Yeah.
a Bears decision anymore.
Yeah.
It's on him if he can actually.
One thing I know for sure, that front office has to do something because Chicago's actually, in terms of like a football market, they're a big market. Like that team can't be shit. They have to be good. Like they're a big market. It's actually bad for the NFL for them to be shit.
I heard someone say the other day that the Chicago Bears are a dominant defense in 1985 away from being the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
Everyone shits on the Detroit Lions
Yeah.
like they've never won playoff games, never won Super Bowls. They're just a
yeah.
piece of shit team. The Bears have had one good season in 50 years.
Yeah.
Like, I know they went to the Super Bowl against Peyton Manning,
Yeah.
but what let them down? Rex Grossman was their quarterback.
Yeah, exactly.
Kyle Orton, like, they've had one Pro Bowl quarterback in 30 years or something like that.
Yeah,
Like,
and that was
50
fucking
years.
And that was fucking Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, like, it's they need.
If you are on a team and you see Mitch Trubisky walk out as your quarterback, you got to think,
Hey,
fuck, we're
fun
fucked
fact,
here.
it'll be Trubisky versus Levis Friday on Thursday Night Football this week.
Really?
bullshit.
Yeah.
We'll get to Will Levis too. Is that a brilliant segue?
But no, let's
Oh,
before
we'll finish the trades.
Can
There
we
was
go
some
trade?
other shitty trades. happening.
Can we just not talk about Pro Bowls as the biggest fucking fact in the world? Because I love the kid, but
But I'm using.
Snoop was a fucking Pro Bowl. He's the 16th quarterback pick last year for the Pro Bowl.
But I'm using it as a, like, they've had one quarterback in 50 years make the Pro Bowl, and every motherfucker makes the
That's
Pro
what
Bowl.
I
Bowl,
mean.
exactly,
You
yeah.
can't make it as
Like, there's 20 quarterbacks to make it every year.
Yeah.
So it's an outrageous. It's
Travis
outrageous that they're that.
Travis Huntley was the 16th pick. Like
He
quarterback
went.
last year.
He started
Yes.
for the Pro Bowl last year
Yeah.
because so many dudes were like,
right,
"Nah, not going."
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was another big. I didn't mind the Leonard Williams trade.
Yeah, that was good.
Big cat to Seattle.
Yep.
Seattle leading the division.
Yep.
They're a good run defense.
Yep.
Their interior line's a bit weak. It's one of their things. They go, you know what? Leonard
get
Williams
him.
for a second round pick.
Yep.
Let's fucking go to
Get
it.
him.
It'll be a back end second round
Yep.
pick.
Yep.
I actually like it. He's
They
out of
got a
contract.
real shot to win that division, man. It's
I
going to
think
be
so
fucking
too.
tight with Kansas. I'm telling you.
The only problem
with
with
San Fran, sorry.
The only problem with Seattle is they're a quarterback away, which is
Yeah.
the topic point for another week,
Yes.
another day. But
Josh Dobbs to the Vikings as well.
Yeah.
Josh Dobbs has been traded 3 times
This year.
in 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't terrible against the Ravens as well. Like
Arizona,
he might be good.
I feel like they've done him a bit dirty. They bring him in. Kyler Murray's apparently healthy now, and they're like,
Yeah.
But I guess them in their mindset is, the Vikings have obviously come to them and gone, hey, Kyler's back.
6th round.
You're 1-7, whatever you are, 1-6, whatever they are. A very good 1-6 in fairness.
Yes, a good 1-6.
Like
about as good a 1-6 as you could
they
possibly
play
be.
fucking hard,
Yeah,
man.
they do.
They genuinely play hard. So, like, and I guess the Vikings come to him and go, look, you got Kyler coming back. We want the best backup in the NFL right now, which is Josh Dobbs on fucking 3 days practice started for you guys and beat the Cowboys.
Beat the Cowboys, yeah.
He can play. We can run the ball well. He's got Jefferson and Addison. Let's bring him in and let him dink and dunk this for big plays, which is basically what Kirk Cousins does at a high level.
Pretty much, anyway.
At a really high level. But he's not a downfield.
That was a bit of a
explosive
shame,
passer.
that injury, man. He was playing really well. I was disappointed.
I think the Vikings were going to be they were going to be the 7 seed if that doesn't happen. But I just don't see. I don't think Josh Dobbs can carry them because defensively they're not that great.
Nah.
Look, I think it's a nice move. They needed to do something because
for sure.
that poor rookie quarterback that came in and then fumbled immediately against Green Bay. Like, lucky it was only against Green Bay, but they needed to do something and they've made a move. It's cost them nothing. But Josh Dobbs is. I tell you what Josh Dobbs is doing. He's going to keep himself in this league for a very long time.
100%.
Yeah, he's going to be a backup.
He's going to be
somewhere
getting
else.
He's free agent this year. It won't be he won't be waiting until 2 weeks before training camp for the Browns to sign him.
Someone will pick him.
There will be
sure.
32 teams going, hey, what do you want to be our backup?
Yep.
So, which is good.
Shout out Dobbs.
Any other big ones? I don't think there was any other really big trades, was there?
JN, I know you're looking at this topic. Let's get into it. Dak finally remembers how to play football.
That was George's topic.
You want to speak about it. I know.
Of course I do.
It's true, though. He finally remembered.
Yeah, look, that game could have gone an incredible. Like, it's so funny. The 2 games this year that I watched, the Cowboys dominated, which was the Giants, the first game of the season. Both had a pick six. So both had the Cowboys scoring on the first drive. Both had the Giants and the Rams driving the field on their first drive and settling for the Cowboys blocked a punt in the first in the Giants game, and in this game the refs missed a blatant holding call on Cooper Kupp and they didn't get it. They kicked a field goal. Then Cowboys go on, score.
Yeah.
Then the blocked punt. Then the pick six. It was like, okay, this game's over. So Dak played really well. He played really well since the 49ers game. I would say he looks back to his old self. And
I think that's fair.
And I feel like that's maybe him going, you know what? I'm going to fucking win and lose by my own devices. I'm going to play how I want to play, do what I want to do. The coaching staff going, you know what? Let's fucking dial it up and let him play.
Let him still.
And if you lose that way, you know what? You can hand to your heart. You can go, you know what? We gave it everything.
That's been the issue, I think, with McCarthy is that
He wraps him in cotton wool.
He hasn't trusted him. He hasn't just gone, well, you know what? I've got to put this boy out there, and if he succeeds, he succeeds. If he fails, he fails. Like you have to. That's what you're paying him $40 million. Put him out there, man.
Yeah.
Let him run around. Let him roll out. Let him fucking make plays. Let him do all that stuff. That's where he's the best. That's when he plays the best. Yeah. When he's like running around and like making plays.
He sees him throw one pick and goes, "Oh no, we're going to run the ball for the rest of the game."
Yeah.
He's a fucking quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, no shit.
He throws picks. Like
dust it off and keep going.
I saw a video about Trevor Lawrence. Like he threw a pick at the start of the game, and his lineman looked at him and went, "Good. Throw it again.
Yeah.
Throw that ball again."
Yeah, what was that? Was that in the AFC Championship where he threw four
interceptions in the first half.
Yeah.
He literally looked at him and said, "Good."
And then he
do
threw
it again.
4 touchdowns in the second half.
Yeah.
Hey, he a dog. Trevor Lawrence a dog.
He got some go about him. He got up the boards this year.
Yeah.
Dak just has to just throw the fucking ball.
And you've got a great reset. Like CD Lamb is a legit. Like CD Lamb's a top 10 dude.
I told you, like I said in our group, Joe, the guy's a stud, bro. You just got to put it up there and let him go and get it.
He is
14 targets, 12 receptions, 158.
Like we said, imagine, it's
I
amazing
think
when you
Gallup-
throw the ball.
What did I say a couple of weeks ago? Gallup stopped throwing the ball to Gallup 10 times. They've thrown it to Gallup
three times,
three times.
receptions, 20 yards.
Yep.
So now they're using him as the genuine, when you're open, I'll throw you the ball.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Cooks is now scoring touchdowns.
Yeah.
Ferguson, the tight end, who seems
Mate,
to actually be
you
quite
forget
good.
that Brandon Cooks even played for you guys some fucking games.
Yeah.
They don't target
But
him.
they're getting it right. The only issue that the Cowboys have, and Prescott's been good, but their running game's really bad. Pollard does not. There are holes that he's running through that last year when he got through that line,
He was bursting through.
It's 25 yards.
Yep.
He's going through now, and it's almost like the safeties are just cutting him off. Linebackers are catching him straight away.
Yeah.
He doesn't
really
have
has lost that burst through the hole, hasn't
he?
he?
Misses having
he's a
Zeke.
He's a running back by committee sort of running back.
He misses Zeke.
He needs a chop
Yeah.
out. He needs
Yeah.
a chop out so he's quick every time.
So
he
you're
gets
saying
out.
that the load is catching up to him.
I just don't think he's there's not many guys that can do that. Like Kamara, McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor. Like McCaffrey's probably the only one that's done it past 5 or 6 years of his
He's
career.
fucking injured all the time too.
Yeah, except for this year, he's been pretty solid. But since he's gone to the 49ers, he's barely. Yeah, I think he's missed a game.
No, I don't think he has either.
So, but that's what I mean. Like, there's not many guys that can do
He
it.
did the the other week and
Yeah.
played the week after.
Yeah.
Everyone was saying it was
Do you think feel
6-week
like
injury.
maybe when he was at Carolina, there was some games he just didn't want to play because they were shit? Do you reckon he was like, you know what?
Yeah,
I don't feel like getting 40 touches today and losing.
And getting smashed. Yeah,
You
100%.
guys are going to pay me anyway. I don't give.
You got to
a fuck.
remember. You got to remember. They're not numbers on a spreadsheet.
They're people.
They're human beings, mate. They're people as well. Like he knows that in San Fran, he's got a genuine opportunity to win a fucking Super Bowl. He had like I mean, on Cam's MVP year, they had a good shot, but that was about it.
He's described the way he plays running back as running into a car crash, and
Of
when he
course, man.
sees it, he runs fast.
Yeah, he accelerates into
like
the contact.
that's like
100% he does.
you're gonna kill yourself if you
He's a
keep
hard
doing
running
that.
white boy.
Yeah, he is.
That's how a white man runs a
That's how
football.
white man runs a football.
Well, yeah, that's a pretty good segue into the Niners, who like, it's
Yeah, it's been a weird few weeks for them, hasn't it?
3 loss. I wouldn't have thought you'd tell me the Niners would lose 3 games in
All
a
right.
row.
So let me cards on the table. I've been pretty high on the Niners all year, even though
Yeah,
they're an
I've been with
NFC
you.
rival. I've been pretty high on them all year. Okay, if you look at their 3 losses, just individually as 3 individual losses, the first one was the missed field goals,
Yep.
which cost them.
It could have
right?
easily won that game.
So, and I mean, because a lot of people in the media through the last couple of weeks have been hanging shit on Purdy, but I'm not sure that it's all Purdy's fault. Like
He had in the game against. Sorry, you finish yours and we'll talk the Bengals
so
game.
the first game, he had an opportunity at the ball with 2 minutes or whatever it was left to go. He drove the field, got him to within field goal range. Field goal kicker, you're supposed to come on. The unit's supposed to come on, kick the fucking field goal, and win the game, right? So he did his job. They missed, they lost.
Yep.
The week after, refresh my memory.
Who did they lose to? Second last.
I think they lost to the Vikings. I'm pretty sure, didn't they?
Yes.
And it was like they ran into a fucking red hot.
That's right.
A red hot Kirk Cousins who
That
fucking
Addison went like
Yeah,
you
and
look at that
Jordan-
game like Addison literally that ball at halftime could have been picked off.
Yeah.
And well played by him. He ripped the ball out.
yeah,
and
that's
scored
right,
it,
and ran and scored.
and
Yeah.
scored a 60-yard touchdown.
And that was the difference. That was the game. That was the game, right? One
You're
score
right.
game.
It was just one of those
So
days.
and then this week just gone. But don't forget, he was in concussion protocol for the whole week. Purdy.
I
as well,
actually thought,
right?
believe it or
shouldn't
not,
have played.
I thought it was Sam Darnold for almost the entire game.
Yeah.
Until it was our group chat. I was like, Billy wrote, "Oh, Brock Purdy's trash," and I was like, "He's not even playing." And they're like, "Yes, he is."
You know,
and then I turned on and I'm like, "Oh yeah, that is Brock Purdy. He's not
right.
even Darnold." Well, I didn't
So
even think.
he was in concussion protocol the whole week. He was umming and ahhing whether he was even going to play. Probably shouldn't have played, Brocky.
shouldn't-
You're
he
right,
shouldn't have.
because he didn't look right. The whole game, he didn't look right. He
There's
looked
video of
white.
him.
He looked off.
He gets tackled, back of the head hits the ground, and the first thing he does is grab his helmet and try and hold his head.
If he was Tua, he would have died.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Two are dead.
Basically-
Two throw up
basically
fucking east
would've
west,
died.
east west.
And so concussion protocol all week. Couple that with he ran into fucking full flight, full health Joe Burrow,
Yeah.
who full flight Joe Burrow is the second best quarterback in the league.
Yes.
Right.
And that's what I was going to say.
I reckon it's actually 1 and 1A. To be
He
honest,
had
like,
Brock Purdy had 2 terrible plays in a row where he threw 2 interceptions.
two in a row, yeah.
One was just an awful read by him
Yeah.
and a bad play, which
happens.
all quarterbacks have those.
Everyone
problems.
does it,
Even fucking Tom Brady made those mistakes.
everyone
So
does it.
and then the other one, I can't remember the other, but it wasn't his fault. The receiver might have. I think the receiver tipped it
or something. I can't
It was
remember.
something
Yeah.
like that. So he had 2 bad plays in a row.
Yeah, and then that was the game.
And they ran into because I think if you take and I'm glad you took those games individually.
Yeah.
Like they've lost 3 games in a row. Do I feel any differently about them? Not
No,
really.
that's the
I
point
still
I'm
think
making. No.
they're a contender because
fucking oath.
the biggest story out of that Niners game was Joe Burrow.
100%.
Because that motherfucker's back.
Yeah, man, he's back.
They
He's
lost their
back.
first 3 games. They won 4 on the trot, and they don't look like he is. I was worried and watching him in that game. I'm like, nah, this is a good defense, and Burrow is carving them the fuck up.
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now.
The Niners are good defense.
Making
Fucking
guys miss,
Yep.
bootlegging out,
Yep.
making plays like
because that's
he looked outstanding.
And if I don't know if you remember not to toot my own horn too much, but a couple of weeks ago I said to you that a big part of his game is his mobility in the pocket, but also
Sliding.
out of the pocket
Yep.
to slide the play, to extend, to get his guys open because
Because you can throw from any platform.
because he's got him.
Same as Mahomes
Yeah,
does.
Exactly. He's got fucking thoroughbred receivers that give him enough time, they're going to get open.
Yeah.
Right. So
I think that's the difference. It's Burrow is good, but he has such a good receiving core. He just needs to stand up for 4 seconds.
I'd argue it's the
And
best
he
3
can-
receivers.
as
Oh,
a
yeah.
trio,
Trio.
Oh, yeah.
I'd put the Eagles receivers. I'd put the Eagles.
Who's your
receivers
third,
right up
though?
there.
Julio. Who scored a
You
touchdown
got a touchdown on the
for the
weekend, bro.
first time since 2019?
You got a touchdown on the weekend.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll take the 2 outside balls and Dallas got it as my third. He's a fucking stud.
Yeah,
mate.
that's fair.
He's a fucking stud.
Yeah, but like I said, it was just great to see Burrow back.
Burrow back, 100%.
Because
Yeah.
all of a sudden, they're a contender.
100%.
The Bengals are back in contention.
Mate, like we said, if you've got a top 5 quarterback on your team, you are a fucking contender.
100%.
Simple as that.
And speaking of top 5 quarterbacks, welcome to the Will Levis show, motherfuckers. You know what? I don't know if he's good at football yet, but I know that motherfucker's got the biggest cock in the room, and he just dropped it on the field. What a ballsy mother! He was just like, you know what, DeAndre Hopkins, 1-on-1. Yeah, all right, there you go. You're pretty good.
But like, if you have DeAndre Hopkins on your team and he's 1-on-1, throw the fucking ball up. That's all you have to do.
Because he
gonna
catches
catch
almost
it.
everything.
He's gonna fucking catch it. He catches everything.
We laughed about this before. We're talking about Cole Pitts, and we're like, it's funny that, you know, if you throw the ball to guys, they can actually catch it. Like, all these guys are like, oh, Hopkins has been terrible this year.
Hey.
Never gets thrown the ball.
You actually got to throw it in the area, unlike Jimmy G, who throws it out of bounds to
Devontae Adams had 2 walk-off, like 2
Two
walk-in
touchdowns. Yeah.
They just on double moves.
We'll get to
Fucking
that.
hell.
We'll get to that.
But Will Levis, mate, not many better. So he threw 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
He doubled Ryan Tannehill's touchdowns for the season in one game.
See, this is the problem, right? Like, people know, defenses know Tannehill cannot take the top off like what Will Levis can. He just doesn't have the arm.
No.
So they know, right? So
All the balls.
well, that's the other thing too.
Devin-
Okay,
That's the
doesn't
other
have
thing
the balls
too.
to
If you don't have the
that-
arm, you just don't have the balls.
He's got that youthful exuberance, that youthful thing. He was like, fuck it, I'm just going to throw it up.
And you know what he did? He won himself a fucking starting
Yeah,
job.
no shit. No
I
shit. He's a
guarantee
starter now.
Vrabel and the other coaches walked in the rooms after and went,
Fuck.
we might have one here. We might have just saved our fucking season.
Because he's athletic, he's big.
Derrick Henry didn't get traded.
Yeah.
Apparently they were shopping him like crazy.
Yeah,
and then,
yeah,
funnily
yeah.
enough, as soon as the deadline ended, they're like, we were never shopping you.
No,
Yeah.
the Ravens
Bullshit.
had a deal,
Apparently.
and the owner said no. The
Yeah,
owner
right.
vetoed the deal.
Yeah,
to the
right.
Titans
Ravens.
owner.
Yeah, the Titans owner vetoed the deal.
To not trade Henry.
Yes.
Wow. There you go.
Because you know what?
They didn't trade him
Put
because
it,
he's the face
put it
of
this
the-
way, right?
of-
Do you reckon if they'd started Tannehill this week, if he was healthy, and they'd lost that game to the Falcons, that they lost, they had another mediocre performance where Tannehill didn't do anything. Do you reckon they're getting to the trade deadline going, all right, deal him.
Yeah, probably.
Deal Henry, we're done. I reckon they all go to that room and they go, fuck, I reckon we have a dude here.
Yeah.
We
I think
might
they do as well.
have a fucking kid.
Yeah.
Let's keep fucking Derrick Henry, because if he can start throwing the ball to Hopkins, we might be able to run the ball. Like
Yeah,
we might have just
exactly.
opened up our
Yeah,
entire
you
fucking
can
season.
open up the box or open up the defense, everything. Yeah, exactly.
The trouble is the AFC is so strong that I don't know if the Titans can backdoor their way into the playoffs.
They're 3-4 now. They're not winning the division against Jacksonville.
Yeah, that's a problem, Jackson.
They're not winning the division, but like, what's the 7 seed in the AFC right now?
I'm getting to that now.
It'd be Pittsburgh, wouldn't it?
It is conference.
I reckon it's Pittsburgh on 4 and 4, 4 and 3 maybe.
That's Cleveland.
Cleveland at 4 and 3.
Right.
But here we go. Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Buffalo Bills. That's 5, 6,
Buffalo
7.
not in the playoffs right now.
Buffalo are 5-3. Miami
Yeah,
Dolphins are
because
6
Miami, bro.
Oh,
Yeah.
Buffalo are 5th. Yeah, that's right. They're 5 seed.
That's it.
But tell me, so Cleveland are the 7 seed right now. They're 1 game up on the Titans.
Yeah.
Without Deshaun Watson, because mark my words, Deshaun Watson's not playing a game this year.
But in saying that,
You reckon?
the Jets
Yeah,
4-3.
why?
He
Cincy
doesn't wanna
4-3.
play.
He's pulled a heart muscle.
Yeah, who's that?
Deshaun Watson doesn't want to play
What makes you say that?
because there's all these fights now going on with the medical staff and the coaches.
Yeah, there's
the
been
medical staff are saying we've cleared him, and he keeps going and getting private doctors to say no, you can't play.
But for his shoulder. Right. Really? Why is
So
he
there's
going down
now-
that path?
He's getting paid.
I'm a firm believer of where there's smoke, there's fire, right? Why the fuck does he need to play? You've guaranteed him his money. He has
He's paid.
zero motive. If he's got any way of getting out of playing from an injury, why would he?
It just has to be football related.
Because you know the only thing that can stop him getting his 250 million is if he can't. If doctors are like, you can't ever play again.
Yeah, right.
It's the only thing that's going to stop him.
Right.
I just have this feeling that he might. I might be wrong, but where there's smoke, there's fire, and there's smoke coming out of that building.
Problem
right
is
now.
though, the problem is if you look at Cleveland and like look at their team, they're actually like pretty well poised to make a good playoff run. If Deshaun was like, let's say Deshaun
Losing Chubb has really hurt.
that really hurt. It was really hurt. But like, if it was peak Deshaun, they're actually like pretty well poised to make a good run. Whereas they're going to have to get rid of a lot of guys because he's going to take up a lot of cap from next year. I think next year it's like fucking 60 million or something.
Mate, if it was
ridiculous, man.
mediocre Deshaun Watson, they'd be fine.
Yeah, with that defense, they would be. You're right. You're right about that.
So I'm not sure. It'd be
So
interesting.
Will Levis a dog? Is that what we're saying? Is he?
He certainly was his first game, but it also wouldn't shock me because as I said, he's playing Thursday night this week. If he came out and threw 3 picks in
Who's he playing? Who are they playing?
Pittsburgh.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Pittsburgh.
In
It's-
Pittsburgh?
No, I think in Pittsburgh. Yeah, I think it's Trubisky versus Levis this week.
Yeah,
Apparently
right.
Pickett's out. But like, that's what I mean. Like, it wouldn't shock me if he came out this week and threw 3 interceptions
Yeah, no, it
for
wouldn't shock me at all.
150 yards and they get pumped.
Yeah.
Like it's a young quarterback.
Young, that's what- it's a
but
young guy,
in
yeah.
terms of from what we've seen, hey,
Yeah.
it's hard to say that this guy's not going to be some sort of
Yeah.
player. It was very Herbert-like. It felt like Herbert when he played his first game.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Everyone was like, "Whoa!"
It was just a big coming out party. Like,
this
here I am,
dude,
dude.
because
Yeah.
his arm is light.
Yeah, man.
He's just not scared. He's a rookie quarterback that's not scared. He had nothing to lose.
Yeah.
What's he going to do?
What's he going to do? Go back to the bench? Big fucking deal.
Okay,
Yeah.
still got another 3 years
Yeah.
on my deal.
Yeah.
Like, we're good. They're not
Yeah.
going to cut me after one game.
This was a dude that they were talking about could have been the number 1 overall pick and
Yeah.
fell to the second
But
round.
it's like,
Yeah, that's
it's,
right.
It's Tannehill's last season. Like,
Tannehill's done. It's
on-
Will Levis.
But even like contract-wise, he's out
Yeah.
at the end of the year.
Yeah,
And
right.
it's also
They
like
gave him
they're-
a 1-year
who's the
deal.
other QB? The
Malik Willis.
Malik Willis, and we know he's no good.
Yes.
So like he's competing with no one. All he has to do is show that he's just got to convince the Titans that he's
He's
the
got
dude.
something. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because then next year they can go, all right, we got a dude now. Let's start building.
Yep. Yeah.
It's honestly saved their season. I thought the Titans were done, and if he can play like that every week and get the ball to DeAndre Hopkins, who's still a really good wide receiver.
Yes.
Yeah, he's lost a step, but he hasn't lost his hands.
Yeah.
Hasn't lost his physicality. Hasn't lost his toughness. Hasn't lost his route running.
Yep.
And that's what he showed. There's like, I think one of his touchdowns was definitely offensive PI. I felt so bad for AJ Terrell. He literally gets grabbed by the back of his helmet and thrown to the ground.
Yeah.
But you know what?
But-
No one will remember that in 3 weeks' time.
You ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Everyone's getting bad calls from the refs. The refs have been
The
fucking horrible.
refs have been absolutely.
This is the worst ref season you guys can remember.
Yes.
Other than the
By a mile.
replacement refs. Do you remember the replacement refs? Remember when they had the
Yeah,
replacement
yeah,
refs when
yeah,
they
that was
lowered
years
it?
ago.
It was a touchdown.
And then Seattle and the guy both had the ball in the end and they called it a touchdown.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Outrageous. They were bad. What we got next?
Battle of the top 2 picks. Bryce Young wins, but CJ Stroud would have the last laugh.
Yeah.
Georgie boy, this was you again, buddy.
Yeah, I thought so.
Spot on.
Like, I mean, yeah, I think that's a pretty. I
you
don't
know-
think that's a hot take. I think that's a pretty fair.
Do you want to know
take.
why CJ? Let's just say Bryce Young and CJ Stroud end up being both really good. They're both on par. They're the top 2 quarterbacks in the NFL. They're Mahomes and Burrow, whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
Do you know why Stroud will always be better? Because the Panthers are probably going to pay 2 number 1 overall picks for Bryce Young.
Yes. Yeah. Because
And DJ
Chicago
Moore.
gets their picks. Yeah.
They're probably going to finish last in the league.
Yeah.
And they're going to give up 2 number 1 overall picks for.
So he's
Bryce
gonna
Young.
have to be beyond good. He's gonna have to
have
be
to.
fucking exceptional.
It's like Will Anderson for the Texans. They've given up 2 first-round picks. Like he's going to have to be good because the Texans are probably going to have definitely a top 15.
Yeah.
Probably a top 10 pick this year that the Cardinals will have. They're going to he has to be the dude. And so far, so good. He looks
far,
like
so
he's
good.
developing well.
Yep.
DNs take a bit of time.
Yep.
Not many come in. There's not many like Micah Parsons and Nick Bosa's
Yeah.
just come in and go, wow, that guy's the best DN in football.
Yeah.
But I just like, have you guys watched this game? It was atrocious.
No, it wasn't great.
I'm just saying, I picked the win on the Red Cup betting, so
Oh, what'd you have?
I had the Panthers to win that one.
Shout out.
I like that.
Shout out to Red
pick
Cup
on the
betting.
win.
It's such a Texans game to
Shout out
lose.
to Red Cup betting Sunday nights.
That's what it was.
That was
like,
that was a gut pick, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. You can't go 0-7. Who's going to go 0-7?
Yeah.
They're going to win one eventually. But it's good to see them both in the league. Actually, they played shit, but it's good to see both of them actually young quarterbacks having fun, childhood friends as well.
Yeah, they're really good friends.
So that's the good thing. I saw that before the game. They were like,
It was cool.
And stuff.
Yeah. Like I think Bryce Young, probably the first time I've thought, and you know what, the old saying, winning heals everything.
Winning helps.
Winning
Like,
a lot of
it was the
things
first time I watched him this season, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, he's okay. Yeah,
Like he threw a touchdown to the tight end, like on an out, and it was well covered.
Yeah.
When the ball left his hand, I was like, that's going to be picked off, and it was perfect.
It was right in the
It was
spot, yeah.
fast with touch, dropped it in with no space. It was. I was like, okay, all right. This,
he can
this-
make-
this dude
Like I
can
said
play.
before, we say these guys are shit, but clearly they're
NFL
good.
NFL quarterback. No, but that's the thing.
Like if he could come into GV and fucking light everybody up.
Oh, and he's welcome.
Like he was the best
Russ
starter.
Young, you're welcome to come to GV.
He started in Alabama for a reason.
Yeah.
Like they don't just roll out shit quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's
Like,
a good.
They
point.
roll out shit NFL quarterbacks.
yes,
a lot, unfortunately.
in the end, yes.
No,
But they-
Tua's doing pretty well. So
Tua
is
and
Jalen
him are
Hurts.
the
Jalen
last
Hurts.
two, and Jalen Hurts. You're right.
Yep.
It's three pretty good ones in a row. It's
pretty good.
Who was the white guy that played for him? I always forget his name. He played in the XFL. I've recognized this 8 times in the
You
show.
can't say Mac Jones because he's definitely white.
Oh,
as well.
McCorkle.
McCorkle.
Oh, McCorkle Jones. He needs to always be called McCorkle.
McCorkle.
And nothing else. But yeah, look, it was cool to see him play.
Yep. I thought it was-
Panthers got the chocolates, but I think the CJ defenses have worked out CJ Stroud a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, they've worked out the offense because he was dominating the first kind of 4 weeks. The
Yeah.
point where I said they're going to win the division.
Yeah.
Which looking now with what the Jaguars have been doing is
Yeah.
insane. But
Jags have won the last 5.
yeah, like
Convincingly.
I thought they were going to roll over, but the Strouds just dropped off. And then you know what? Film does a lot of things for
Yeah,
NFL.
that's what
there
I
are
was gonna say.
NFL coaches.
NFL
they watch
they're,
film.
They're NFL coaches, man. Like they're watching how many hours a week of film are they? They're watching 50 hours a week of
All
film.
of a sudden,
probably?
Tank Dell's not looking as open.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
oh
yeah.
yeah, we're going to cover that guy now.
Yeah.
Well, he
exactly.
fast.
He is fast. He's so fast. He makes fast guys look not so fast.
Absolutely. But the Chiefs aren't invincible.
That's a brilliant. That's a brilliant.
Longest yard, yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
I'll watch out when I get home tonight.
It's a great
fucking
movie.
film.
Chiefs, yeah, no,
game ball.
yeah. So I mean, I saw snippets of this game, and obviously, you know, the media, the dick riders, all came out and said, "Oh, you know, Mahomes was sick and he wasn't going to
The
play."
flu game. It's funny. They only mention
No.
flu games when they lose.
Yeah. It's like if he won, if he
Oh,
came
but
out-
unless you're Jordan.
Michael Jordan rode that one for a long time and he just had food poisoning.
I would say Michael Jordan's still riding that.
yeah, fucking I think he's
The
yeah.
truth is, he was out on a fucking bender the
He was
night
on a
before.
bender.
He was
Exactly.
not.
It's actually true.
It's 100% true.
Yeah.
And what a narrative spin.
They're still selling these shoes. They're just black and red shoes. They're the flu game shoes.
So yeah, like
should be yellow, like his
like,
mucus.
just don't blame it on the fucking flu. Like you had a bad, you're a professional, mate. You had a bad fucking
day.
game,
And
okay?
it's probably I'm trying to think. I can't remember a time I've seen him play that badly.
yeah,
He was terrible. And full credit to Denver, right? Because if we take that 70-point pumping by Miami out of it,
yeah.
their season doesn't look that bad at all.
No, it's not a.
The last 3 weeks they have played.
No, last 3
They've
weeks
played the
Russell's looked
Chiefs.
good.
They've played the Chiefs twice in the past 3 weeks. They've beaten them once, almost beaten them the other time. I'm not saying they're a playoff team, but they're not bad. Like
No, they're not bad. I agree.
Peyton's done one thing right. He's rallied the troops.
Yeah.
He's the defense is all of a sudden like they traded away Randy Gregory, and we were like, here they are. They're dumping everyone. They're done. Maybe Randy Gregory just wasn't a good because he hasn't done much at 49ers since he's been there. Maybe they were just like, we don't want to pay this guy fucking $40 million.
Yeah.
They've beaten the Bears, the Packers, and now the Chiefs.
Yeah, it's a lot of the time who you play.
Yeah.
I get that. But what they did to the Chiefs defensively, like Patrick Surtain, who again was rumored to be was going to be traded to the Eagles a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he looks like an all-pro corner again.
Yes.
So there's obviously been some sort of conversation that's like, you need to play better.
Yep.
And he's like, they're buying into it. So yes, they've
always-
beaten-
Buying is definitely a thing.
Yes.
Buying is definitely a thing.
and then like, yeah, the Bears and the Packers, whatever. But if you take those two games, you take the two Chiefs games isolated alone, they've played outstanding.
They played well.
And I
Yeah.
guess it goes out to the old adage that division games are division games.
Division
man.
game.
Like,
Yeah, man. Division games.
They are different.
I mean, look at the Eagles and Washington.
I said it the other weekend. I'm like, why can't
on
they?
paper, we should smash them, bro.
Yeah. Oh, like, why is Washington's
it was a
offense
one-score
killing
game.
you?
With, I mean, obviously we ran away with it at the end, but it was a one-score game with 5 minutes to go. Like we should be smashing them. They're fucking terrible.
It shocked me the way that, and then like really, the game could have stayed closer if Howell and McLaurin could have just fucking connected on those passes.
Correct,
At the
yeah,
end.
instead of-
he was wide open about 5 times at the end, and Howell just couldn't get a ball. I would also say McLaurin should have caught a couple of them because you're an NFL receiver. It hits you in the knees.
Yeah, there was the one that was really low. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard, but you know, like
Also, you're an
Cooper,
NFL receiver.
Cooper Cup catches them.
Yeah. Okay.
Devontae, no, he dropped. Devontae was a terrible drop on the weekend too.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. Like, I can't believe in division games how much closer they are. Man, it's just
but
knowing
but
the
think
team.
about how much film.
Yeah.
Think about how much film that each team would have on the division.
And they know
they play them twice.
They
a
know
year.
who they're playing.
Yeah, they
so
know
much more.
100%.
I'll bring it back to this. Like Lamar Jackson is 17-1 against NFC teams after the first time he plays them.
Yeah, right.
Like
Yeah.
that's how like the difference. Like seeing a team for the first time.
You know why though?
Was the NFC soft apparently?
The NFC is soft, and I will get to that. Don't worry, we'll get to that.
Fuck you, fight me. Let's go. Let's go.
No, we'll get to
You're
that.
saving it. Are
We'll
you?
save that.
You've got you got evidence too.
No, I haven't. I just want to get real mad.
All right, we'll wait.
We'll get rid of the show, then we'll get mad.
So
But
I
you work them out.
I think that game shows that Kansas City are not invincible.
The Chiefs have a real issue, and it's explosiveness.
Yeah, they've got no ability
They
to make
brought
big
back
plays.
they brought back McCall Hardman, who's done basically nothing.
Yeah.
Fair enough, he's coming back. Whatever.
Like they obviously at the end of last season or whatever it was, they made a decision. They're like, okay, we need to get better on defense. We're going to trade Tyreek Hill. We're going to get some picks, and we're going to try and get better on defense, which is what they've done.
Their
Fine.
defense. Do you know every one of their starters on defense is a first or second year player?
Yeah, right.
I think they've got one third year player.
Yeah.
Nick Bolton,
Because I remember last year they had a lot of rookies. Yeah,
That's good team building.
Yeah, it's
to be able
great.
to do that.
It's great. Well done.
Their offensive line's great, but like they've got the Chiefs are in a very narrow window. Now, having Mahomes opens your window up a lot more, but they've got a lot of guys they need to re-sign. They need to re-sign the right guard, whose name I'm forgetting right now, the center, whose name I'm forgetting right now. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Those two guys are out of contract. One's next year, one's the year after. Chris Jones, they just re-signed. Karloftis is having a really good year, his third year. Like they're going to have to start paying some guys or letting some guys walk. And Mahomes is $60 million a year because he wanted to be the highest paid player. Is going to start hurting them.
That's what I remember. That's what I said. I said, enjoy your money, Patty Mahomes, because you're going to be thrown to fucking retards for the rest of your career.
The person that should write the script on how to be a team, how to be paid as a quarterback is Tom Brady.
Yeah, 100%.
Because he was outrageously underpaid and he's still a fucking millionaire.
Yeah, I mean, all these guys that don't need the money.
It doesn't make sense to me. Like that restructure for Mahomes to get from 52 million
Up to 60 or
59
whatever.
million,
Yeah, like
just to jump over someone else.
Yeah.
Who I can't even remember who Burrow.
yeah,
Like, why?
because it's ego. Bro,
Why do
obviously.
you need 9 million more a year?
You don't.
That's two quality players.
Yeah.
Or at least one
You
really
get
good player.
one stud
one
receiver
starter.
with that money.
Yeah.
You get one stud receiver.
I think
with that money.
Devonta Adams is only on about 15 million. You're halfway to getting him if you want him.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. He should be saying, no, cut my pay, get fucking Devonta Adams.
Yeah, which is what Brady did for fucking
Cut
10
my
years.
pay, trade for Devonta Adams and pay him what you want.
And he's got 6 rings.
But I don't think Mahomes is I don't think he's, I think it's all agents and shit. Because you remember when an agent restructures a deal, they get their clip again.
Yeah, but surely Mahomes can veto that.
Yeah, you've got to. You'd be surprised in the NFL how often players, even free agents, are just like the agent will call them and go, "Hey, by the way, you're playing in Dallas next year.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
They gave us the most money. This is the best deal. That's where you're playing."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Cool, that's all I care. I don't care where I play.
Yeah, right. Well,
You've
I mean,
gotta
I suppose
remember,
that's what
it's-
they're paying them for. Like,
It's their job.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
if someone came to me and my job and said, "We're going to give you double the money," I'd be like, "Yeah, sweet, peace out."
yeah.
Like that. I guess there's more passion in that stuff.
I disagree slightly
energy?
because at the end of the day, like it is a job. Yes, I agree, but you're also there to win.
Yeah, but some of them don't think like that. I think you would be really surprised how many of them don't think like that.
See, me personally, especially if I was up to earning that, tens of millions of dollars a year, as long as you're not dumb with your money, if you're smart with your money and you invest it properly, like you never have to work again. And no one in your family has to work again.
Mate, there's guys like Detroit. The guy at Detroit's a great example. Alex Anzalone, the linebacker with the long blonde hair.
Yep.
So he was at New Orleans, went to Detroit because he loved Dan Campbell. He was a free agent this year. He got offered, I think he's on like a maybe like a $4 million deal, whatever he's on. He got offered about 30% more. And he was like, "No, you know what? I want to stay in Detroit.
Perfect.
I love it here.
100% agree.
My family lives here now. I bought a house. This team's like,
The team's on the up.
And they're like, what are you going to, like, and they're like, yeah, we'll give you this much, so what we can give you. He's like, yep, cool, done. That's still $4 million. Like, I don't care. That's fine.
$4 million to play
Like,
football, dude.
That's what I mean. Like, these guys are not
They're not
struggling.
starving.
No, at all.
That's what I'm saying. So me personally, I would much prefer that I'll be
Yeah, but
my
you're
situation.
we're looking at these from dudes who pay to play football, right? We're looking from a whole different perspective. We are people that play football because we love it. They're people that's their job.
You guys pay?
No, I don't.
Yeah, but at
I
one
rob
point,
my coach.
point they played because they love it, and like say what you want. Okay, yeah, it's a job, but to play at that level, you need to love it to be able to play that.
I agree. Yeah, it'd be very hard not to. But I guarantee you, there are lots of guys when free agency comes, their agents go, "We're going to come to you with the best 4 deals. You can, if they're all around the same, you can pick. If this deal's 20%
Astronomically
more,
better, yeah, that's the deal.
and the player's like, "Yep, cool, do my
Yeah,
terms."
I don't disagree.
See, I want to know how many deals the agents lose for the players. just for their own greed, though. Because we've all watched ballers. The rocking ballers just trying to get fucking money out of owners.
Yeah,
Loses contracts.
that would be happening. Fucking
That's what I mean. Like, I want to know
thousands of
how
times a
like,
day.
the
How do you
owner.
reckon Chase Young got dealt for a 3rd round pick?
Exactly right.
That, like, I guarantee you there was some greed involved.
Yeah,
That probably Washington were like, no, we want this one, this is, and then everyone was like, you know what, fuck you
fuck
guys.
you. Yeah,
Because as you said before, they're people too. So are the owners, so are the GMs. They would get like, we've all seen Moneyball and all that, where the owners, the GM's like, no, fuck you, I'm done with you.
Yeah.
I'm not dealing with you.
They
Yeah,
all
yeah,
have
yeah.
their own voice in their head telling them what to do.
Yeah. So I guarantee you there were teams that probably were going to give more for Chase Young, and then they've gone, you know what? You know, Washington, you're fucking us around. We know you're talking to Jerry Jones. We know you're talking to fucking, the Baltimore Ravens. We know you're talking to Shard Khan at the Jags. Fuck you. Stick your deal up your ass.
Yeah.
And then the 49ers were the only one, probably the only ones left going, yeah, I'll give you a 3rd, man. What do you want?
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
that's a perfect situation for him. That's a great pickup.
I guarantee you that shit happens because
Yeah.
these are, and you're right. They do times they're dealing money, and then you know what? The owners go, you know what? Fuck you.
Yeah, kiss my ass. Yeah.
Player can walk. I don't give a shit now.
Yeah.
And you know what? You tell him why he's walking.
Yep.
And the owner probably gets on the phone to the player and goes, oi, agent's a fuck with
Yeah,
mate.
agent's a dickhead, yeah.
I had this deal on the fucking table.
Yeah.
He said no because he wanted $3 million more over 5 years. Stick it up your ass. Have fun
Yeah.
in free agency.
Yeah,
Like I guarantee that. And then that's why agents get fired.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
they live and die by that narrative.
Well, a lot of the
100%.
how many agents do you actually know?
I don't know any.
There's that one. Is it Rosenbaum?
Exactly right.
All of them. I think it's the only one.
You would probably know their the agency they read.
Yeah.
But how many do they actually have? Oh, well, I know the Jalen Hurts manager because she's the only female manager with a player.
Yeah.
And, like
Really?
he's the only NFL player with a full female team
Shout out.
in the NFL. Shout out.
Jalen's got game.
You dog. What do we got,
She
next,
is a
fellas?
snack too.
Jags are the kings of the road.
4-0 on the road, man. This
Oh.
year, they're 6-2, man.
I can't believe
They've won 5 in a row.
Are they 6-2 or 5-2? Either way, they've
5
only.
or 6-2.
Well, I think they're only 7 games.
6-2.
6-2. Yeah.
6-2. They played
They've
8
won-
games. Yeah,
They've won 5. They've won 5 in a
We're,
row.
we're in week 8.
Yeah.
They haven't had a bye yet. Fuck me. Yeah, they. I think the best way,
Jags.
the best way to put it is, fucking Lawrence is.
Well, we said that at the start. Remember when we were doing our predictions? We said that this team will be good if Lawrence takes the next step, and he
Hey.
definitely has.
He has, and like Ridley's been a great addition.
Yep.
Evan Ingram. Who would have thought you get out of a tight end gets out of New York and becomes good?
Everyone that gets out of New
Like
York becomes
honestly,
good.
like Darren Waller's been one of the best tight ends in football when he's been healthy. He's now healthy in New York, and they can't fucking get him the
they
ball.
can't get him the ball. Yeah.
Evan Ingram could never get the ball in New York. Soon as he goes to the Jags, to the best seasons, like
Yeah, but you're comparing Lawrence to Jones is literally chalk
Where-
and cheese.
like I think Lawrence is certainly a top 10 quarterback,
Yeah, he's top 10. I would have.
and
him in
I would
top 10.
say he's probably pushing top 5. Like who would you have over him right now? Mahomes, Burrow, Prescott, obviously,
Lamar.
Lamar,
Nah,
Hurts.
I would have Hurts on Lamar, Dak out.
No, Dak. I'm just
Nah,
fucking
he's
around.
taking the piss with
Yeah.
Dak, sure.
100% taking the piss. I would trade Dak in a fucking heartbeat for Lawrence, and it wouldn't
Yeah.
even be. I'd be like, yes. They wouldn't even finish the
100%.
sentence.
You had me at
I reckon there's probably only. I'm trying to think who else.
we had the
Allen, I'd have
Josh
him.
Allen. Josh Allen
we
probably.
put it in the topics for we didn't put it on the run sheet, but we put it in the group chat of top 10 quarterbacks.
Yeah. We'll
I'll-
do a list. We'll do a list and we'll
I
present a
was
list
thinking
next week.
it's very fucking hard to
Because
pick.
like, is Tua top 10 based off this year?
Technically, yes.
100% he is. But
Technically, yes.
like, you got to take
you
the
get-
last 2 years. He's been pretty fucking bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
You got to look at a body of work.
Also,
You can't just look at one
Tyreek
season.
Hill, fastest player ever to 1,000 yards in a season.
Yeah.
Do you know who he beat?
His own record by a
Himself
week.
from last year.
You know how many weeks he beat it by?
One?
One week.
One
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
Do you reckon he can break the record?
What is the
Receiving?
record?
1,800 something yards.
Who holds that? Is
Calvin Johnson.
that? Yeah,
He was
that's
on
right.
track for
Megatron.
2,000 after the first 3 games.
Megatron. Yeah.
Fucking insane. I reckon he can do it.
He could easily
Like
do it.
and in this game as well, like that game, Waddle also went off for 120 yards
Yeah,
as well.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
when Waddle played, like funnily enough, the game when Waddle got injured and Tyreek Hill couldn't get the ball.
Yeah.
There's a lot to say about
Of
those
course there
two.
is. Of
There's a
course
lot
there
to
is.
say. Like, I think
Yeah.
Waddle is very, very underrated.
Yeah.
Very
He's
underrated.
important. Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, the Jags. I don't know. Let's say 4 weeks ago, I thought the Texans would win the division.
Yeah.
And it's like the Jags listened and went, you know what? Fuck you, Jay.
No, that's why I wanted to put. That's why I wanted to put on the run sheet. I want to give them their flowers. They keep going, guys. Really good.
You know what? And it's a team I like getting around.
Yep.
When they went on that run with Blake Bortles a few years ago and just lost in the AFC Championship
Yeah.
game to the Patriots,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, this team is so fun.
Imagine Blake Bortles played in a Super Bowl. That's what we were
Yeah.
saying. Yeah.
And then, but then like they just went from like, oh my God, this team's on top of the world to
Yeah.
straight away.
Yeah.
It's like, then the Urban Meyer scenario, they draft Lawrence. Oh, Lawrence.
Absolutely not a bust.
But they need, that's a team I can, if that team won the Super Bowl, I'd be like, yep.
yeah, good. I'd be
I'm
happy.
happy with that.
Very happy for them.
I'm throwing a quick flag on this one as well.
Flag on the play. Here we
Play on
go.
play. Talk to me.
Week 4, Jags played Falcons in London.
Yes.
That was their home game in London.
Yeah.
Week 5, they played the Bills in London. It was an away game for them.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah.
3-0. They've had the time difference. They stayed there for 2 weeks.
Hey, home games are home games, bruh.
It's an away game for them.
Hey,
That
records.
counts as an away game.
Records don't remember
Hey, all right.
locations, kid.
Okay.
I do,
Okay.
kid.
Okay. So they spent. So okay.
Ow.
Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute, Brocky. They played. They spent 2 weeks in England, and then they came back. And what did they do?
They came back
They
and
pant someone?
beat the Colts.
Yeah.
At home.
Yep. And they came back and smashed the Colts.
Division
Game.
Are they swept the Colts this year?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's mate. That's good.
They're
Come
2
on.
and
Do you
2
know
at
what's
home.
scary now? Like the Jags with that division, they have a legit chance to take the number 1 seed. Because like you got to think like,
In the AFC.
yeah, you got to think the Chiefs have lost 2 games now,
Yep.
so they're the same record. Burrow has left themselves in a hole, and they're in a tough division. Like they're got to play the Ravens twice still, Bengals, or once.
Once.
They
Once.
played it once already,
Once.
haven't they?
Yeah.
Like they're going to play Pittsburgh and
I know
the
what you're
Browns.
saying because the other divisions are hard, whereas that one's a shit division.
Like
I know what you're saying.
they
yeah.
could sweep their division. That's like
They probably will.
They could be the number 1 seed.
Fuck.
Like I think the Chiefs will roll because in fairness, the Chiefs division's not much chop either. I know they just lost to the
Yep.
Broncos. Yeah, Denver Broncos. I know they just lost to them, but
Denver
the
Broncos.
Denver Broncos. Yeah, no, that's it. Now I have a topic I want to bring up.
Please.
We need to talk about the Green Bay Packers.
Yep. Go on.
And the rumors are now that the LaFleur era that they're calling for his head.
Yep.
The offense has struggled. I agree. And I can't believe this, but I did a bit of research on it. And I'm going to go into Matt LaFleur's defense a little bit here.
Okay.
They have got a young quarterback who I know he's in his 3rd year now,
Mm-hmm.
but he's inexperienced. He hasn't played a lot.
He hasn't played a lot at all.
His first real year, yeah.
Yep. They have had the most drops in the NFL, including against the Vikings. That
Yeah.
Watkins dropped a dead set touchdown, which would have brought him back in the game
Mm.
on 4. And then on the 4th down play, he hit the rookie receiver, I think it's Dubes or whatever his name is, on a slant, wide open, in the eyeballs, dead dropped it on the ground on
Yeah.
4th down, which was a turnover on downs. And then the game was done.
Yeah.
Like they needed to score. So I think it's easy to blame him and go, yeah, he's crap. They have put him. I don't reckon there's many quarterbacks you could put into that Green Bay situation with the talent they have
Yeah.
and be super successful.
No,
They are not. It's like Lamar from last year. They
yeah.
are not. They're not explosive. They don't get open. The receivers do not get open. Their running game's terrible. Their O line's gone to the shit because David Bakhtiari has some mysterious injury every week and apparently won't play unless it's on grass. He refuses to play on turf.
Yeah.
Then he's healthy, then he's not, then he's going to play, then he's a last minute he pulls out. There's something fucking going on there, and that's your all-pro caliber left tackle. We're all like
He is an all-pro. He's
100%. They've got a terrible O-line. They can't protect him. Their defense is good. Like, their defense isn't bad at all. Yet, like, why is it LaFleur's fault? Like, they've put him in this position. You know who's the fault of Green Bay? And this is why I want to talk about Green Bay.
Aaron
It's
Rodgers
the
leaving.
fucking organization.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers saved that organization for 10 fucking years. Before that, Brett Favre did. Now, in fairness, Brett Favre had better receivers, had Donald Driver, Greg Jennings, Jordy Nelson, and so did Aaron Rodgers early in his career.
Yeah.
But then from that moment on, they've done nothing to improve their offense. They hit lucky on Aaron Jones in the 3rd round.
Yep.
Like, they just managed to nab a good running back, which, to be honest, in the draft, you throw a fucking dart at a dartboard and you hit a good running back.
Yeah, no
these
shit.
days.
You can throw a blanket over 10 of them.
Like, there's like, I like them and I like the good ones, but you can get 10 good running backs in the draft every year.
Yep.
They can come and do a job for you if you block well and play well.
Yep.
Job for 3 years.
Yeah, like the organization of the Green Bay Packers, which is once this proud, glorious organization, is the crimes of their past is now catching up with them because Aaron Rodgers is in there to bail them out.
Yeah, correct.
And
yeah.
it was the same last year. Aaron Rodgers turned the shittest group of players in the NFL into a top 10 offense and couldn't scrape them into the playoffs.
Yeah.
It was like, Rodgers is the problem. He's the problem. He's the problem. He talks about it. Rodgers has been like, that organization's toxic as fuck. Like, when you don't succeed, it's all your fault. But you know what? We're going to draft a linebacker and a DM with our first 2 picks. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
we're talking about talking about coaches that have been saved by a quarterback. LaFleur would be up there with the conversation as well.
Even
What-
McCarthy before him as well.
What's he
Yeah.
actually done?
wow. Like,
What-
no, he
what's
just
the
had
good-
Rodgers carrying him.
Exactly
Yeah.
right. Like he hasn't done anything anywhere else.
Well, he was a Shanahan guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's a Shanahan guy.
Was he McVay and then Shanahan? I reckon he was on the Rams. Oh, either way, he's from that tree.
But that's what I mean. Like, okay, we're living off
this
trees
is
now.
a perfect. What you said is 100% right. This is another perfect example. It was the same thing with Brady in New England. A top tier, top level quarterback is a fucking band-aid. It can hide a lot of issues.
Yeah, but I
A lot
don't
of
think
issues
he's
that an
band-aided
organisation has.
LaFleur. I think he's band-aided the
Green Bay,
organisation.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
I
100%.
think what LaFleur and him
100%.
were able to do with the lack of talent,
Yeah.
and McCarthy to an extent before that, which I think was more Rodgers, because that was like the height of Rodgers
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
But I think what they were able to do with the lack of talent has been pretty remarkable.
I agree.
And now
I
they're
agree.
turning on LaFleur. Like, and it seems like and I know the Packers they're publicly owned, all that sort of shit.
Yeah.
But they got a GM, the German guy, Gudenhaus, whatever his name is.
Brian Gudenhouse.
Yeah, when's the finger going to get fucking pointed
Yeah.
back at those guys?
Because
They never sign free agents. They
are they
never do anything.
they got to blame somebody. What are they going to do?
Well, they need a fight. They need a GM that's going to come in and go, you know what? We're spending fucking money.
Yeah.
How much cap space do the Green Bay Packers have? I bet you they have, on the top of my head,
50, 60 million.
50 or 60 million. Right? Like, why aren't they trading a 7th round pick for Amari Cooper last year for the Cowboys?
Yeah.
Why aren't they getting Chase Young?
Yep.
Why aren't they getting fucking Donovan Peoples-Jones from the
You
Browns?
just feel like they don't make any moves.
Like,
Oh,
they
you're
don't
right.
do
You're right.
fucking
Yeah, they do
anything.
nothing.
So this year they've got 8 million, 8.5 million. 2024 going into that, they will have 39 million.
Yeah, there you go.
Again, that baffles me because who the fuck are they
Who are they
paying?
paying? Yeah.
Aaron Jones, I know they're paying. Who else?
Bakhtiari would be on a bit.
So they,
But to never play?
2025 they got 140.
Yeah, so there you
That's
go.
the year.
They've got a big. They've got a lot.
Coming.
So like, and there's like, I guarantee you, Bakhtiari's on that team next year. And I like Bakhtiari. I think he's a great tackle.
Yeah, he's great.
But there's something awry there. Like you don't.
He's
you-
probably got the shits with the organisation too.
like you don't be training all week and be like, yeah, Bakhtiari's back, and then just before the game, like, nah, he's not playing.
Kenny Clark is their highest paid at 12 or just 13.
They've
Cap number.
got that good corner of theirs, Jair. What's his name?
Jair Alexander.
He'd be on a
Gray
bit.
is
He'd be on a bit too.
10 and a bit. Jair is the third at 10-7.
Yeah, he'd be on
You know what? That's a fuck. Is he still on his rookie deal? No, he got re-signed. 10-7 for Jair Alexander's a fucking bargain.
That's his
Yeah, it is a
cap
bargain. He's
number,
really
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
He's really
His
good.
base is 1. His base salary is 1 million.
Yeah, it's all bonus.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, I just,
What
it
do you
pissed me
think
off.
they do? What do you think they do? Because they can't. Like Jordan Love's not the guy. They're gonna move on from him, don't they?
I don't know.
Is it too early though?
Because, okay,
it's the Justin Fields situation.
this is my favorite thing to do. Like, flip him to the 49ers.
Jordan Love. Nah, he wouldn't be as good as Purdy.
Maybe
think
not
he
as
would be.
good, but do you reckon you'd be looking at him in a whole different light? Do you reckon he'd be successful?
Well, yeah, he would be because he's got better people around him. Yes,
That's what I mean, like, you
but,
can't
but
just
as an
put-
organisation, they're not. They have never been that organisation. They're
That's
always
what I
like
mean. So what? You got to
quarterback centric.
So
you
strike. So
you need
gotta-
to find a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yeah,
basically.
they literally need to strike lightning for the
Yeah,
third
yeah,
time
yeah.
and hit another Hall of Fame quarterback
Yeah.
because Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers is the greatest quarterback transition in the history of the NFL.
40 years, 2 Super Bowls.
Like it's yeah, but do you know why they won? Do you know how many more Super Bowls they would have fucking won if they'd actually put some players on the field for these
Yeah,
dudes?
no shit.
Well, the funniest part is the year Rodgers won his Super Bowl over the
2010, I
over
think
the
it was.
Steelers. They had the most IR starters in the history of the NFL to win a Super Bowl. They were missing like 14 starters from that
Wow.
team. Unbelievable amount. Like Nick Collins broke his neck in the preseason.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Remember their tight end was it? It's not Gresham. They had the Finley. Was the Finley the really athletic tight end?
Yeah, maybe.
Like back in 2010, athletic tight end. You didn't have athletic
Yeah,
tight ends.
yeah,
Like
that-
it was Jimmy
yeah.
Graham, everyone else.
You had blocking,
Yeah, and
blocking
he
GM.
he broke his neck at practice and then could never play again. Like
Ah, that's right.
it was outrageous. And then Aaron Rodgers was like, "Hey, no, I got you guys.
Yeah.
That's my my second year starting. Don't
Yeah.
hey, get on my back, boys. I'm taking you."
Yeah,
to
but
the
Rod's a
promised
dog.
land." He is like it's but yeah, I felt like it pissed me off when everyone was like, no, they were booing LaFleur leaving the field, and I'm like, about you boo your fucking GM who
Yeah.
won't sign anyone?
Yeah, won't sign anybody.
Christian Watkins is their best fucking receiver.
Yeah.
And then you know what? In respect to Christian Watkins, it drops off a hell of a
Yeah,
long fucking
yeah,
way
yeah.
after him too, and he's not even that good.
Yep.
Like, it's an outrageous thing.
Jordan Love's contract is voidable from 2025.
Look, I said, I don't. If you went out on what you've seen so far, yeah, Jordan Love's not the guy. But I also think he's in a very unfair scenario where he doesn't have a big chance to succeed.
Yep.
Bad O-line, don't run the ball
Yeah,
very well.
I've got a sneaky feeling that Green Bay are not going to be very good for a long time now.
I think they've run their race.
Yeah, they've run their race. Yeah, I think they're going to be.
Their years of being
The story like franchise is I think those days are gone.
the years of losing NFC championship games are over for them.
Yeah,
That'll be the height of their powers.
fancy having Aaron Rodgers on your team and only winning one Super Bowl in all that time.
And Brett Favre before that only winning one.
Winning one too. It's crazy, isn't it?
Outrageous.
We'll save it. We'll save it for next week.
Next week?
Yep,
All
next
right.
week.
We got Billy's voicemail?
We got Billy's voicemail. Let me get it up.
Is that everything? We're done. Great.
Yeah. So it's only been an hour. Because you won't shut the fuck up. No, I'm kidding. I'm sure I didn't mean it.
But we're here to talk, right? This is what we're here for, isn't it?
I believe so.
Shout out the Australian flag team as well. 4th place in the.
Oh yeah, shout out to the boys.
Shout out to them. I just want to
Shout out to Jamie Stafford, the
Yeah, boys staff.
ex Ranger,
Very well coached.
coach.
I just want to let them all know that any of the players on that team, well done. You will not play an Olympic team. As much as I would love you all
Wow.
to, I would love every one of you to. No gridiron player in Australia will play in an Olympics. I'm sorry.
Wow.
You know what they'll do? They'll take the fastest, best athletes in the next 4 years. They'll teach them how to play flag
them how to play football, yeah.
Because spoiler alert, flag football is not that hard.
Long in the.
What about the quarterback though?
Yeah, 5 years, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 2028.
2028. Yeah, so,
So
5 years away.
Maybe the quarterback will play.
Kroll did a very good job. But yeah, you probably have to have a quarterback.
He'll be
But,
50.
but do you reckon you can get I reckon you can get an athletic guy, like an ex-cricket player. It's like someone who's got a
Teach him how to
cannon
do
and be
it.
like,
Different.
I don't know.
It is
I don't know.
different.
I don't know.
you're telling
I'm
me
not
there's
gonna
not,
profess to know.
you're telling me there's not a better athlete than someone in Gridiron Australia that can throw a ball in this country that wants to go to an Olympics?
Oh, the old Stegmeister probably could do it.
Stegosaurus should definitely
Stegosaurus
go.
should do it.
Shout- shout out-
Stegogram 89 could get around with it.
Shout out to Steg.
Yeah, but anyway, it was good. They came, 4th out of 6 teams.
4th out of 16.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Bottom 60%.
No, what? 16? 16.
I don't know. I never even looked at it.
Come
Guys,
on.
you can't bring up local football and expect me to not be a jaded, spiteful piece of shit.
Come on.
I have been this for 10 years
You have.
and I will be it for fucking ever.
He has. It's true.
I've given more to that fucking league than most people and I fucking hate it. Fuck them. Yeah.
Billy's voicemail, please.
Get some players into real football.
Here we go.
Fuckers. Anyway, go.
Boys, what's going on? Back again for another week. Don't know what happened last week. There was a bit of a technical difficulty, but here we are. Another question. $10 million on the line. You got the best offensive line in the league. You have to throw at 10 yards in one NFL game. You can't do a little jet sweep, flea flicker. It's got to be a proper stand in the pocket, deliver, or scramble outside the pocket and deliver a ball. Are you doing it or are you not? What's your overs? What's your unders? Let us know. Cheers, boys.
What's it about over-unders? You can't have an over-under or a yes or no question, surely.
Billy Voicemail Wilson just loves a voicemail while he's driving.
I
I
like
think that's
it.
all he does anymore.
First of all, shout out to our man, Bill.
Yeah, Billy, we actually...
I've actually grown to love this.
I look
segment.
forward to them every week.
Right.
So, you know what? I'm making a drop for him.
Shout out.
Billy's voicemails, but he's got to keep sending them.
Give me a drop. Give me a drop right now. Give me one.
To non-motivate myself,
so
no fucking chance am I hitting 10
Hang
yards.
on. Let's
You're
just,
not gonna get
just
10
recap.
yard total.
Just recap for me.
In a
What was
game
his
or
question?
one pass?
In a game.
So what was his
Oh, in a game?
In a game.
Yeah, give me AJ Brown. I'll just throw it up in the air every time. He's going to
That's
catch it
what
at
I
one
was
point.
gonna say. So is he
I'm
saying
just
we
gonna
have
play
to?
short.
Do we get one? Do we get more than one shot at it?
I think he said one pass.
Oh, what he said, game. 10 yards in a game.
No, I thought he said it was one. The way I understood it was you got one shot, you got to step up in the pocket and
One
make,
shot,
and make
one
a throw.
opportunity.
So I think, boys, let's not sell out
Spaghetti,
short.
mum's spaghetti.
We don't play for the New York Giants and have minus 9 yards passing.
Yeah, I know,
and
that was
win a
ridiculous,
game. We
wasn't it?
skipped over that. We did skip over that.
What?
Yeah.
Tyrod Taylor had 4 from 7 for 8 yards.
Yeah.
Tommy DeVito, great name from his kids from New Jersey, had 2 from 7.
Josie.
Mine, Tommy DeVito. He
Shout
looks like
out.
a kid from the Jersey Shore.
Shout out.
I bet you he looks like George.
That's racist.
It's definitely not. You're Greek. You can't be racist to Greeks. Okay? You've been here too long.
DeVito's definitely
Italian.
Italian, bro.
That's what I'm saying, but he's saying it's racist towards him. You can't be racist towards Greeks and Italians. Like, they're basically Aussies now.
Yeah, two for 7, -1 is what he had. Saquon Barkley had 36 carries, but 128 yards.
Yeah.
36 carries. 36 carries.
Jesus. They're just
You know
running
what?
into the ground, aren't they?
Do you know what the problem was? Donna Kelsey apparently called Zach Wilson at just before the last drive and went, "Hey, buddy,
Hey, buddy.
you
know
win
what's
this
on the line.
game.
Hey, big
you know
boy.
what you're getting."
Hey, big boy.
And he was like, "Fuck yeah, let's go."
How's that making you feel?
Actually, a quick fun fact before we finish up as well. Have you seen Travis Kelsey's numbers when Taylor Swift isn't at his game
Yes.
compared to when
Yes, I have.
it's like 47 to like 120?
Yeah, it's like triple the
It's
production or something. Yeah,
unbelievable.
Yeah.
And
All
now
right,
she's
so
going on her world tour.
back to Bilbo's question. What are we saying? Are we saying
No fucking
So
chance.
are we talking about? Is it one throw
One
or is it for
pass?
the game?
I see. I think if it's for the game, we're
Play it
getting
again. Play it again. We'll give him one more chance.
Sorry, Bilbo.
Skip like the first 10 seconds.
$10 million on the line. You got the best offensive line in the league. You have to throw for 10 yards in one NFL game.
Oh, it's
the
game.
game.
Oh, yeah.
You can't do a little jet sweep, flea flicker.
I'm doing it.
It's got to be a proper stand in the
some
pocket,
point, you're gonna
deliver.
hit a receiver on a slant. He's going to take it for 10 yards. Like, at some point, they're going to blow a coverage over the
You've
middle.
got the
and-
best offensive line in football.
yeah.
blocking for you.
So the Eagles. So at one point, you're just going to get like
he's wrong. He's not wrong.
say you throw you get sacked twice or whatever, and you're on third and 30. They're going to drop everyone back. You dump it off to a running back on a curl,
Yeah.
and he runs for 10 yards.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I think I
I'm
could.
throwing a middle screen.
Yeah, middle screen.
Middle screen. Just
Although
get
the
up-
problem
get
with-
upfield.
Do you know what the problem with middle screen with screens are in the NFL? They take a lot of timing,
I think rushing yards
and
too.
those dudes are fucking fast and big. Like you see them, they throw around them sometimes.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I don't know if any of us had that sort of capacity to make that sort of play.
I threw on in walkthroughs and I thought I blew out my
I'm going
hip.
to stand in the gun, and Jordan Mailata's going to block there, and Lane Johnson's going to block there, and I'm going to step up, and I'm going to go AJ Brown run a
And
10
throw it
yard.
up in the air.
AJ Brown run a 10-yard in, and I'm going to throw it right at you.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep throwing it and hope for. I'm not even going to try and read the defense. If I throw 20 picks, I don't give a fuck. All I need is 10 yards. Yes,
and-
yes.
and I
I'm
get $10 million.
Yeah, I'm $10 million richer and own the record for interceptions in a game.
Hey,
Double spoiler.
Win-win. Win-win.
hey, records last forever.
That's true. They're made to be broken.
Beautiful.
though, bro.
Thank you, Bilbo, for the question.
Yeah, hey, with all seriousness, Billy, we fucking love it. Keep
Yep.
sending it in.
I love it.
I
100%
will
love
definitely
it.
make a drop for Billy's questions. I'm thinking like a bit of a Frodo Baggins sort of short person, like squeaky voice sort of operation.
What the fuck? He cannot escape the short person joke. Leave the kid alone.
His nickname is Bilbo Baggins.
My precious.
Yeah, I think I'll brainstorm this. It'll
I
develop.
think aren't him and Brock like the same height? We
How
don't give
dare
Brock-
you? Brock is at least half a centimeter taller than
I've
him.
got at least half a brick. I've got half a brick.
Half
on
a
him.
brick
half
on
a
him.
brick.
It's how you measure.
It's
Oh,
from
from
back
back
in
in
it's from
the
back in the
peg. I had a mental blank. Yeah, he's a bit at least half a brick bigger.
I think I
But
actually
you know
might
what? It
open
doesn't
it.
matter, George. Whether, as Vin Diesel once said, you can. Doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile.
Winning's winning.
Being taller is being taller.
Look, as a tall man, I agree. but
You're
it's
probably
always
only
good.
what half a head taller than me. Doesn't matter. You're fucking taller. You'd be a head probably.
It'd be
taller
more than
me.
that, bro.
It'd be one head taller. So like 3.5 bricks. We're gonna get the fuck out of here.
That's a brilliant way to end. Thank you very much.
Adios, guys.
See you next
Enjoy.
week, boys.
Love yous.